Hey gals, so we are headed in towards the school year. That's the time of this recording. For my state, it's about 2 weeks away before school starts. Most people within this country are going to be doing some remote learning or supporting our children with remote learning, or we're going to be doing more Zoom calls, or heck, we're just not getting out as much given the current state of things. So I'm going to give you some tips that you can do, whether you're helping your kiddo with school, you're sitting down, you're at work and you're sitting down. So first off, let's talk about how we want to sit. Now I'm going to give you some advice, but realize this is not how you're going to sit 24/7. Ideally, you want to be shifting and moving around. We see little kids wiggling around all the time, and we actually want to be doing more of that. We don't want to get stuck in one position, because it's the time that we're in any given position that is going to be the thing that irritates our bodies. So first and foremost, when it comes to sitting, it's really easy to roll on this ball of a pelvis we have and sit more on our tailbone. But I also see a whole lot of people that are sitting up extra tall and they will actually kind of tip forward. That brings on the back extensors and they get grippy. So if you have a constantly tight back, this could be you, as well as people that get tight in the front of their hips. So one thing is we want to make sure that we are sitting just right on top of our sit bones. It gives us more length, it quiets those back extensors as well as the hip flexors. I've got a towel here, and what I'm going to do with it, you could easily do at home. I'm just going to roll it on up, and I'm going to place it behind my sit bones, and I'm going to put it in a way that it helps me sit nice and tall. It's just behind my sit bones, so it kind of helps me sit up nice and tall. It's not very easy to slouch or sit back, and I'm going to show you some things that, besides sitting well, know that wiggling is awesome. Some things that you could do in your chair that are going to make your body feel a whole lot better. Heck, you could be in the middle of a Zoom call and do these things. So the first thing is tightness. We usually get tight in our upper back. So you're going to take your hands on your knees and you're going to slide one hand back and one forward and take a deep breath in and out. And you're going to notice it feels tight and stiff when you take that deep breath. Now, what's happening is as you take a breath, your rib cage is lifting and lowering like a bucket handle that's attached to your spine, and it's helping to mobilize it. So take a deep breath. And the other side. I do this about 2 to 3 times. If you're sitting for a length of time, like more than an hour, I would do that every hour or so. Something else you can do is just take your hands and open up your chest and stretch out that way. If you want to add in a stretch to your arms here, also some stretch to nerves, you can open up that way. Now, when it comes to our core muscles, their biggest job is to hold us up tall. Think about a little baby. They can't sit until they're about 6 months old. That's because their abdominal muscles have not fully developed. So things that we can do to challenge our core, even in a chair, will look nothing like a sit-up. One thing is just to take an arm up and then reach up diagonally. You're going to notice that you're working muscles all through here. So you could do a couple reaches, working your abs, just in your chair, all while sitting nice and tall. And then, oddly enough, anything where your arms are up over your head is actually a core workout. So you could even just sit nice and tall with or without your towel roll and just sit and put your hands on top of your head while sitting tall. You're going to notice if you try to stay tall and you don't let your rib cage flare up as you put your hands on top of your head, that you're actually working your abdominals to keep those ribs pinned down. Something else you could also do, just having your hands on your head, is doing some marches. Now, this might look so simple and it could even look silly, but honestly, it's actually a workout. So you could just be sitting, you could have your arms forward and just marching nice and tall. This would be safe for pretty much anyone, including just had a baby, you have a diastasis, Anyone that's worried about a hernia, for the most part, we are not adding a ton of compression and pressure on your core. And even if you are worried about a prolapse, this still should be nice and safe. You're just thinking about staying tall, and you don't even have to lift your legs that high. So let's review. We want to sit in a way that we are not sitting totally back on our tailbone or totally extra specially and extra corrected. It's nice if we can sit right on your sit bones. A towel roll can help. And you can do things throughout the day to capture moments of time to help your body feel better. So one of those things is combat the tightness that you're gonna get in your back. Doing this with a deep breath, doing a couple of those every hour. You can do things for your upper body by reaching, just like that. You can also sit for a little bit. If you're just thinking, I'm gonna sit for 10 seconds and just really nice and tall with my hands on my head. You could also just reach up. Then you could do things like marching. You can put your hands wherever it feels comfortable for you. And yes, while there are a ton more exercises we can do in a chair, those are just a few, but the mindset is the most important thing here. We don't have to think that exercise has to fit in a nice little package, that it can only be done with exercise clothes on, that we have to go to a gym, that we have to go outside or leave our home. We can do it at our desk, at our chair, and the more that we move throughout the day, the better for our bodies. So hopefully that helps.